Now to the controversy surrounding the anchor of NBC Nightly News, Brian Williams. We're going to walk you through what has happened so far. So last week on Nightly News, Williams recounted a moment from his time embedded with the U.S. Army during the Iraq invasion.
The story actually started with a terrible moment a dozen years back during the invasion of Iraq, when the helicopter we were traveling in was forced down after being hit by an RPG. Our traveling NBC News team was rescued, surrounded, and kept alive by an armored mechanized platoon from the U.S. Army 3rd Infantry.
It was a story that Williams had told several times over the years, including in detail during one appearance on Late Night with David Letterman in 2013. According to Variety, a person familiar with the situation said that NBC News executives had counseled Williams in the past to stop telling the story in public, though this is disputed by someone familiar with current NBC News operations. After Friday's recounting, one of the crew members of that helicopter challenged Williams with this Facebook post. "Sorry, I don't remember you being on my aircraft. I do remember you walking up about an hour after we had landed to ask me what had happened." Other crew members confirmed this discrepancy to the military magazine Stars and Stripes. On Wednesday, Williams addressed the issue.
On this broadcast last week, in an effort to honor and thank a veteran who protected me and so many others after a ground fire incident in the desert during the Iraq War invasion, I made a mistake in recalling the events of 12 years ago. It did not take long to hear from some brave men and women in the air crews who were also in that desert. I want to apologize. I said I was traveling in an aircraft that was hit by RPG fire. I was instead in a following aircraft. We all landed after the ground fire incident and spent 2 harrowing nights in a sandstorm in the Iraq desert. This was a bungled attempt by me to thank one special veteran and, by extension, our brave military men and women, veterans everywhere, those who have served while I did not. I hope they know they have my greatest respect, and also now my apology.
Williams also took to Facebook, writing to members of the crew in part, "I feel terrible about making this mistake, especially since I found my own writing about the incident from back in '08, and I was indeed on the Chinook behind the bird that took the RPG in the tail housing just above the ramp. Because I have no desire to fictionalize my experience, we all saw it happen the first time, and no need to dramatize events as they actually happened. I think the constant viewing of the video showing us inspecting the impact area and the fog of memory over 12 years made me conflate the two, and I apologize." Reaction online and by many media critics and veterans was swift and often harsh and mocking in tone. Extensive coverage of the story includes pieces by the New York Times, Washington Post, Baltimore Sun, and USA Today, with some calling for Mr. Williams to be fired. Others came out in support of Williams, including Paul Rieckhoff, the founder of Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, who urged veterans to forgive Williams in part because of his, quote, tremendous dedication to men and women in uniform. And yesterday on CNN, Rich Krell, the pilot of the Chinook in which Williams was riding, offered his version of the events.
Mr. Williams was on board my aircraft. We took small arms fire. All I know is one RPG was fired. It struck the lead aircraft, which was about what we call 6 rotor disc in front of me.
When he claimed last week that his helicopter had been hit by an RPG, that's obviously not true. But do you take issue with other parts of the story that he's been telling for years, that the helicopter took small arms fire and that he was scared?
Well, no. I mean, we were all scared. That's the truth. You know, there's minor details through it here and there. Once we landed, we set up a perimeter, the 3 Chinooks. He talked about the Bradley 3rd ID guys coming in. They were a great help, but they didn't show up until almost a day and a half later. You know, they were just passing by and happened, luckily, to see us through the dust storm. You know, there's just minor details, but that's 12 years ago. But generic, he was there at the time of the attack.
There is, of course, this morning a dispute that Krell even was the pilot of that helicopter. Other crew members say he does not. And in fact, the pilot who was, Mika, the guy who also claims he was the pilot of the helicopter, actually says Krell misremembers everything. So there's even a confusion there.
His account does seem to differ from what crew members in the lead chopper told Stars and Stripes, that Williams was, quote, nowhere near that aircraft or two other Chinooks flying in the formation that took fire. Williams did not readdress the controversy on Nightly News last night. Asked for further comment, an NBC News spokeswoman said that the network stood by Williams' apology and had nothing further to add.